These days, software developers often use application containers for application components, so for apps, including web apps. So instead of containing an entire operating system, an application container contains only app files. So let's get some hands-on experience working with Docker containers a little bit. First thing you'll need to do is start your Kali Linux virtual machine, if it's not already running, and sign into it with the username of Kali and a password of Kali. I'm doing this remotely over PuTTY. I've started the SSH daemon. Either way, just make sure you have command prompt available in Kali Linux. So the first thing we'll have to do is make sure that the Docker package is installed. So I can do that with sudo apt get install, and I'm going to install Docker.io. Now, if it's the first time I've run the sudo command in this login session, I'll be prompted for the password, which is Kali. Now, you need an internet connection to go out and get this stuff from these online package repositories. But here, it says that Docker.io is already installed. It's the newest version. Okay, great, no problem. So if I were to run sudo docker just to make sure it knows what I'm talking about, it does. It knows about the Docker command. So we know that Docker is available. So I'm going to go ahead and start the Docker service with sudo service Docker start. It's a service that has to be up and running in the background for you to work with application containers. I'm going to use the up arrow key here as per step 4 to check the status. I'm going to just change Docker start to Docker status, and we want to make sure that it's showing as active and running. So I'll just press Q to quit out of there. So in step 5, I'm going to go ahead and run sudo docker images. What this will do is show me any container images that I might have available here. Now, a container image is used to spawn a container. You can think of as a container as being a running instance of an image. It's kind of like deploying an operating system golden reference image out to a new laptop that you might have received. Okay, so that's interesting. However, I want to go ahead and download or pull a container image from the public Docker Hub repository on the internet as per step 6. To do that, I'll run sudo docker pull, and I know that there's one called Alpine. I could go to the Docker Hub website and I could search for images that I might be interested in, but I know that this one is there. So this is just a small Linux image that we can use perhaps to run an application or some kind of tools. So after a moment, it will have been downloaded, and of course what I can do is I can verify that it's here on my local machine by running sudo docker images as per step 7. And indeed, the Alpine container image is shown here in the list. So in step 8, we're going to run that container from that image by typing sudo docker run-I for interactive, T for terminal, I want a terminal, and of course we know it's called Alpine. What that does is it starts the container very quickly, as we can see, and it gives me a different command prompt. Because I asked for an interactive terminal, I'm in that container. It has its own file system. So if I were to type ls or anything like that as per step 9, we're actually viewing the file system within that application container, not the file system in Kali Linux, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and type exit to get out of that container and to stop it from running. So at this point, we have a sense then of how we might start to work with container images.